Tokyo Revengers is a new spring anime to come out in 2021 and is already getting hype for only 4 episodes. And today, we're going to be talking about what happened in these 4 episodes and what we think about it and what's going to happen in the future. Well, before we start, just to know that the symbol on the screen is not a Nazi sign. It is actually a Buddhist peace symbol sign and is the Tokyo Manji Gang symbol for the anime. But do not report this video thinking this is Hitler's sign and all that. A lot of animes use this, like Naruto and Bleach, but just know that this symbol is not supposed to mean the Nazi sign. It's supposed to mean a Buddhist peaceful sign. On that note, let's get into the video. So the main character Takemichi, we see him in his apartment being at his lowest part of life, and he hears on the news that his middle school girlfriend Hinata Tachibana and her brother Naoto dies from the Tokyo Manji Gang. This is a gang that he was kind of associated back in the day in his middle school, and one day when he goes to the train, he gets pushed onto the train tracks by somebody, and right when the train was about to hit him, it puts him in his past middle school body 12 years back, and he thinks this is like his life flashing before his eyes, but slowly it starts to get more realistic and more longer. And one day, while he's in the past, he saves Naoto Tachibana from getting beat up by some thugs, and he tells him that he needs to save him and his sister 12 years later in the future. And when him and Naoto shake hands, Tachibana gets put back into his real life body, and that's where we see Naoto as a grown-up kid talking to Tachibana and saying that he saved him from the train and that he became a police officer to save him and his sister, but he wasn't able to actually save his sister, and that he needs Tachimi's help to go back in the past.
The first episode was hella fire. Like, to be honest, like Tokyo Revengers, I thought it was like Takemichi was like bitching for like the first 10 minutes about how shit his life was and shit. But like after like the first 10 minutes, it really got him. Like animes don't really they're always really slow in the first episode. They don't really like know what's happening. But like after the slow start, like you really understand what's going on. He's like a depressed boy. Then after that, he's depressed because of this, and after that they take him to different places, and then it just moves so quickly. Like, oh, it was fire. Like, I don't know if anybody thinks it's mid, that's crazy. Like episode 2, on top of that, it just went straight in. Like, I don't know, it was fire. So episode 2 starts really quickly as well. Like the start of the episode, it starts with Takemichi and Naoto talking about their plan to get Hina back. So he shakes Naoto's hand, and of course that's the trigger for him to go back into the past. So he goes back in the past, and at that same time, he's in a fight. So basically, he's looking around. He's like, "What's going on?" And he's in a fight with somebody. So basically, he gets one punch and he goes down. He doesn't get back up. And if that when he gets back up, he's just laying there. It's in the middle of the night, and there's the gang. What's the gang called?
The Tokyo Manji Gang.
The Tokyo Manji Gang is there, and then they pick him up, and they were like, they were betting on him to win that fight because in the past, he was really good at fighting, and he was like everyone was betting on him a lot of people were betting on him to win that fight. So basically, they beat him up for losing the fight. So Kiyomasa gets a bat, and then he starts repeatedly beating Takemichi with the bat for losing the fight. After Takemichi gets beat up, he asks Kiyomasa, he asks his leader's name, and Kiyomasa gets really mad. He's like, never ask him a question like that again. Because like the guy was just Kiyomasa he's so highly rated that he doesn't even want him to say his name. So he beats him again with the bat. He just keeps on beating him. Like at that point, like really mad. He's like, never ask him a question like that again. Because like I thought he's gonna really die right then. And he's gonna go back. He's so highly rated. Back to the Future, like some ReZero stuff. So he beats him again with the bat.
Yeah, because the only reason that Kiyomasa got mad that Takemichi brought the gang leader name up, because Kiyomasa, he wants to be like the gang leader. He wants everyone to know that he's the toughest. But then while Takemichi and Kiyomasa start fighting, Sano, the actual president of the Tokyo Manji Gang, he comes in and he actually kind of like saves Takemichi. Like Sano, he beats up Kiyomasa, and he tells Takemichi that he wants to be his friend. And throughout episode 4, throughout episode 3, it's really just Takemichi trying. He had a plan in order to save his middle school girlfriend Hani. Wait, no. In order to save his middle school girlfriend Hinata, he had to make sure that Sano and one other gang leader never met, because them two meeting would cause the newly and improved Tokyo Manji gang in the future. So that was his plan, to never let those two meet again. And then in episode 4, we realized that his middle school friend Sendo, he's the one who like pushed him onto the the rail tracks, and then Sendo actually kills himself, saying that he needs, like, Takemichi needs to save everyone, because Sendo knew about Takemichi going into the past. And for where we left off right now, basically Takemichi, his plan is not only to save his middle school girlfriend, it's basically to save everyone who died, and to save Sano from becoming evil, really.
Yeah.
No.
So basically, like, the plot is so developed in just 4 episodes of Tokyo Revengers that, like, it has so much potential. It has way more potential than JJK, in my opinion. Like, there's, like, after him bitching after the first 10 minutes of the show, it just really, like, ramped up the speed of him, like, getting to the fights. Now he wants to save everyone. Akaru just died. Like, he just killed himself. He was like, save a bunch of people. He was like, go back to the past and save a bunch of people. So now, like, we're left on a cliffhanger of, like, Takemichi crying on the stairs and, like, him saying he'll save everyone.
Like, the anime, it gets you straight into the point and makes you understand what, like, their goal is for the anime.
Yeah, like, I really rate this anime a lot. But that'll be it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And, TX3, we out.